everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we are going to create a card with the super fun Small Die of the Month Club kit from Spellbinders. This month's club kit is called Sketched Florals and Frame, and the frame you can see will fit an A2 size card front, and it's loopy and it's fun and it just happy looking. There's also lots of florals that are sketched. So you have the outline die and then you have the insert. The insert will create the sketched look, basically thin detail lines. And so we're going to create a just because card using almost all of the dies except for there's one floral in there. I'm just going to go with 3 flowers and then some leaves, and then this one will just save for another day. Let's jump in, and I went through my scraps of cardstock, chose some nice bright colors. We have 2 different shades of pink. The pink is, the light is pink sand, dark is dahlia. I'm going to die cut out the base of the flower with the lighter color of cardstock. I have 2 shades of yellow. I have beeswax as the lightest. We'll die cut out the base, and then we'll put the sketch part on the darker, which is saffron. Same goes with the green is just 1 layer, so we're going to die cut out both sets of leaf with the green cardstock, which is peridot. This is like a loopy leaf. We'll die cut that out with white cardstock, and then for our last flower we have 2 shades of teal. We have the waterfall, and maybe that's not waterfall. It's waterfall, and then the darker color is teal topaz. So I am going to die cut out our frame with 2 colors of cardstock, white and then portobello. All the cardstock that I'm mentioning, you're probably going, what is all these names? They are all color essential cardstocks from Spellbinders. It's a great quality cardstock, guys, and it's heavy duty, and it die cuts beautifully, and I'll list it down below if you want to check it out. Portobello is like a craft cardstock here. I'm going to die cut out 2 of those frames with that. I'm going to get to die cutting, and then when we come back, we are ready to assemble. I die cut out 2 frames for 2 purposes. One, I can layer the portobello frame on top of the white, and I'm just, you could use glue if you wanted to, but I'm just going to use my tape runner. My tape runner works great, and it doesn't get tape on the inside of my detail area of the die cut. Once I have adhesive behind it, I'm going to layer this on my white frame, and then what this is going to do is give me dimension. Now I also have the inside piece for the white frame. I thought we'd do a little bit of ink smooshing on that piece, and since it's going to perfectly fit on the inside, I don't have to ink smoosh directly on my card base. I can use that white insert piece. But it lines up pretty. If you want to go full dimension, I would suggest maybe adding a couple more pieces of the white frame behind it, but I think 2 is a good amount. I'm going to do the same thing basically with my flowers. I'll add my sketched lined piece over my base piece, and all of my base pieces were the lighter color, basically 2 tones of cardstock. The lighter color is the base, darker color is the sketched part. I'm going to go ahead and add foam adhesive while I have my flowers done, kind of thinking ahead as we go along. We'll do the same thing to our yellow, our beeswax and saffron, and then we'll do the same thing to our rosebud. Now, one thing I did notice with the rosebud is there is a leafy area, so if you don't want to have pink leaves down here, you could die cut out 1 more with your green cardstock and then trim around the rosy part, but I'm not going to be too worried about that. I just layered my pink leaf area on my background. I don't think it's going to be that noticeable. We are going to do some ink smooshing now. We have some frayed burlap. Frayed burlap is really close to portobello, and that's our top layer of our frame. So I added some to my craft mat. We're going to do a little ink smooshing. I just wanted a little bit of color. I did this on my background panel, and it looks really dark, but believe it or not, I'm going to use my heat gun to help dry it, and the color does pull back a little bit, but I just wanted some extra color in the background, and I think that turned out good. I have those white areas on all of the corners. I have my card base, which is a standard A2 size card base. we're going to go ahead and add adhesive behind our fancy little frame, and then we'll put this on our card base, making sure it's kind of centered. And again, that's the reason I die cut out with the white cardstock, because this way I can insert my background and I don't have to ink smush on my card base basically. And it looks like the bottom area is a little bit crooked. I'm going to kind of fix that, press it down really good. And isn't that a cute little frame? I just think it's just so fun. We're going to add a lot of adhesive behind our distressed ink smushed panel, and it will just fit right on the inside of our frame, just like a puzzle piece. And the color of this is like coffee. It's like a coffee stain. And I think the natural tones again will look really pretty with those bright colors. Okay, now we're going to bring in our flowers, and we need a sentiment. So I'm going to be using a stamp set from Spellbinders. It's called Wildflower Sentiments. A lot of pretty floral-y sentiments in here. I chose the one that says flowers are like friends. They bring color to your world. So that's why I chose a muted natural tone background with these bright colors to kind of go with the sentiment too. We'll ink up our sentiment with VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and I'll stamp that in the bottom left corner. And once we have our sentiment stamped, we can kind of arrange our bouquet of flowers here. We're going to start off with our teal flower. I'll just remove the release paper and add that just above our sentiment. And I want it kind of trailing down to the right of our sentiment. After we have our flowers and our leaves adhered, I did die cut one more set of the single green leaves with peridot cardstock. I wanted to put some next to the sentiment here to kind of bring it down a little bit more. And I was happy with the way this looks. Now we're going to embellish our card using some Spellbinders Color Essential Gems. This is the silver mix. I put some all around my panel, and then I wanted to put one in the center of that yellow flower, but there was too many gems going on. So what I'm going to do is bring in my white gel pen and just circle in with white the center of that yellow flower, and then also the center of my teal flower, and that worked out good for me. But that's my project today, guys, using the Spellbinders Small Die of the Month Club Kit for December 2021. I hope you enjoyed my project. Have a fabulous day, and we will see you again soon. Bye-bye.